say today, should I? It is tonight. It is the evening. It is a Friday evening. So one of my daughters is at a concert. The other one's just come home from work. And my husband is waiting in the city to pick up my other daughter from the concert. So I thought this is a perfect opportunity for me to come on here, have a little chat, show you what I've been up to, because so many of you have been asking, what am I making and what am I doing with the pottery? So my first lot of pottery has already gone out to some beautiful people. So that has already gone out to be fired. And then, of course, once it comes back, we'll glaze it and make it all pretty. That's when you get to do the beautiful stuff. And the next thing that I'm going to be doing is getting these ones out. So we want to try and have a few for Christmas time. So I will show you what I'm doing. And now this is without using a pottery wheel. And the great thing is there's a couple things that we're doing. Now they're upside down at the minute because they are drying, but I'll show you. And it is going to relate to obviously my soap and candle business as well. So on here, this is one of my first ones. Can you see it? It's a leaf. And if you can see it, it's sitting upside down. And the reason I've actually got it on here, and it's almost dry, so I'll be able to take it off to show you. The reason I've got it here is so that it's bent over. So this will actually, you can use this for a soap holder, or, you can use this. This would be great to put like your conditioner bars or shampoo bars in because it has a little gap on the side. But anyway, that's what I'm doing with it. So this is the first stage of this. And then, of course, we are going to do the glazing later on. But this has to be fired first. So I thought I will show you a couple of things that I'm using in case you want to give it a go yourself. A few people have asked me, how did they actually do this? Look, the best idea I can tell you, with the cheapest idea to do pottery, is buying a bag of pottery. It's actually clay, and then all you got to do is get it fired. So you can just make it by hand. You don't need a machine. You don't need to put it on a wheel. There's lots of ways. Of course, I love the, putting it on a wheel, which is called throwing. I love that idea, and I will be doing some of that. But just to get some of you going that may not know a lot about pottery, one thing that I thought I would just show you is, these things here, which this hand built. So if I tip it upside down, here it is here. It is not dry. You can see it's a little bit floppy still, and that's why it is sitting on here. But I just wanted to show you that literally that's what I've made. And the way I did that is I literally had this, which is a foam, it's just a foam leaf from my discount cheapo store. And all I did is literally rolled clay on it, and then I cut around these little bits here. I've got a couple other pieces which I'll show you. And like I said, all this is just rolling. It's just like rolling, dough. And then you just cut around it and just leave it to let it dry a little bit. There's a few extra things we need to do. It's like cleaning up around the edge and things. And look, honestly, to do something like this one here, this is going to take a day or so to dry. So, and now this is in its most fragile stage. So once it's done, we've cleaned it up, it's looking beautiful, it's totally dried out, which may take about a week. Then you can go and send that off to be fired. Or if you have your own kiln, of course you can go and do that yourself. But I don't have my own kiln at the moment. So there's a lovely lady out in Mornington that has been helping me. So basically the idea is you just rent a part of their kiln, and when they do their firing, you tell them the temperatures you want it at or what you're going to fire it at, because each clay body has a different sort of temperature it needs to go into, and different ranges. But I won't go into all that because it's a little bit confusing if you don't do pottery. And I know a lot of you have been using hydrostone and not actual pottery, so that might be a little bit confusing. Another thing, this is another one I've done. It's just a love heart tray. And can you see on the bottom, this is actually a tray. So you can find anything around your house and you can go, okay, maybe I can do that. And then what I've done is I put my own, can you see that pattern? I don't know whether you can see it, but it's like a paisley kind of pattern. And what I did is, and you can use some soap things you've got as well. I actually had a vinyl sheet and I just rolled on the vinyl sheet with a roller and some clay. So it's really, really simple. And now let me show you the big one that I've been working on so that you can see. And as I did tell people a while back, I did study pottery for 4 years. So, and also This is, my daughter made this and wrote mum on it. So we're going to fire that for Annie, and she wants to glaze it. So you can let your kids do this because there's no lye or anything like that involved. It's just nice squishy clay. Children love it. So, you know, if you want to give it a go, you can definitely let your kids do that. And of course you do all the firing, the heat bits. And oh, it's so heavy, but can you see this? This is going to be my next project. So I've already made that. It's just sitting here drying. So I thought, like I said, I thought today would be good just to, while I've got some time, just to kind of explain a few things. Oh, and I've got to show you, I have my own little stamps. This is called a potter's stamp. And on this one that I already showed you, this has a little stamp just here. Not sure if you can really see it because the light's a bit dodgy here, but anyway, so then people will know that's from me if they, you know, if they really want it to be from me. So, and they want to know, you know, where it came from. So it's good to have a little stamp on it, and it definitely just keeps your work looking, you know, amazing and making people want to come back for more. So that's what I'm doing. I have done so many pots. They are actually already gone off to the kiln to be fired in Mornington. It's just about an hour or so drive away. And when they come back, we will be, I'll show you the next step of what I'm doing, which is going to be glazing it. I'm not going to be painting the glaze on. I'm going to be doing dipping. It's much faster for someone like me that is going to be doing hundreds of pots. Basically, you get your glaze and your water, you mix them all up, and then we're just going to dip the pots in. But they need to be fired. So first things first, I thought I'll show you what I'm using at the moment. And it doesn't cost a lot. So this is the clay I'm using. It's called mid-fire clay. It's from Walker's in, where is it, Melbourne. So it's in Bayswater. You can go and get it. It's only like $20. And I can't remember how many litres or weight is in it. I'm going to say it's 5 or 10 kilos. I don't remember. But anyway, it's not very expensive, but it's something that you can definitely do if you want to do it. And I'm going to just get a piece out so I can show you. So this is basically what it looks like. And, you know, you can just squish it in your hands. Very squishy and pliable. And you can make any shape. So even if your kids want to make, you know, a little bowl or something like that by their hand, they can just, you know, do it by the hand. And then that's it, really. I mean, you do need to squish it and sort of just like you were doing bread. You would definitely need to, you know, squish it and do all these other things that you've got to do. And that's just getting the air and making sure air out and making sure that it's perfect. So there's a lot more to pottery, but, you know, as you know, we're a soap channel here, but there's many things in a soap company. So if you're a soap company like me, usually you would do candles as well as, you know, it might be soaps, body washes, things like that. And you know what? It's really, really good for you. If you have another option, like a pottery thing, there might be something else that, say for instance, you weave baskets, then you can put that into your line because, you know, it's really important to have other lines. I've seen other people make wheat bags and things like that, and that is all a part of their line. A great person to actually watch is Keely from Soy and Shay, because she will actually show you, like in her videos, you'll see that she brings in lots of different things and not just soap. And that's what you need to do to have a business. You need to have lots of revenue streams and alternative products to buy if people just don't want to borrow soap. And I'll tell you, which I've said before, my absolute biggest sellers are candles for sure. 100% candles win over everything. And especially at the moment, and especially with wholesale, I do sell a lot of candles, but it's hard to get into that to, you know, sell candles, isn't it? And I'm playing too much with this clay. And if, you know, if it gets a bit dry, you can just add water. So that's a good thing, isn't it? And, you know, kids love squishing with little clay bits. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, and as I'm just sitting here, like, I mean, look, you know, this is funny because it's going to show my age. I don't smoke. My parents never smoked or anything. But when I went to school, everyone used to make an ashtray for their parents because most parents smoked back then. You know, like I said, my parents never did, and I was super duper lucky. But I can remember being at school making something like this. It was just a little, you know, bigger than this though. But, you know, you'd make kind of, you know, ashtray or something like that. So most of us know what clay is, but you know, this is the thing. If you're a small business, you need to just always be thinking of other things and, you know, how you can actually bring that in. So if I have a season and soap, you know, is just not selling, you know, you might have somebody go, oh, look, I love that cup you've made. I'm going to buy that. And often that's what I have. So this time of year, it's time for the Melbourne Show, which is one of our big events. My daughter has a stall at the Melbourne Show each year, and I always have a few of my products in there. The biggest thing we sell is lip balms and steamers and things like that. But in a store, you know, sometimes it's all random things. But if it's wholesale, it's candles for me. So there's so many different things. So anyway, I'm going to pop the camera down just so you can see what I'm up to. Now, I'm sorry if I'm wiggling it and I'm praying. I'm not going to make you ill. And I'm sitting in my dining room at the moment. So this is my dining table. Hold on, we'll move you down a tiny bit further if I can. Went off for a second, so I had to get you back. But anyway, so this is where we're sitting here, like I said, and I've just rolled out that. So if you want to do something like this, this is all just hand-built. This is what it's called, hand-built. And so now we're just going to get some clay, and I'm doing it on my table because then I can just clean it off. This was what I was playing with, but we're not going to fire that, of course, because that's no good. No one's going to buy that rubbish. But I just wanted to show you a little bit in case you wanted to do this. Now, and as I've said before, if you don't have a kiln, you can easily rent a space, and it's pretty cheap. Generally, it's like $10 per every kilo. So you take it there to be fired, and when you pick it up, they'll usually tell you how much it's going to cost. Because, you know, they weigh it after it's done at its lightest form, and then they'll tell you what it costs, which is pretty cheap. You know, like, it's only going to cost me about $50 or $60, and I've got so many pieces. I've got like 70 pieces being fired. So that's a little bit about that. So generally, if you're going to make a mug, you'll need about 200 grams generally to make an Australian mug, because we have smaller mugs than overseas. And, you know, you don't just go and make it like this. You want to obviously squish it, and, you know, as I said before, you really do need to almost like knead it. And make sure that your surface is clean. Don't be putting glitter or anything like that, because that will not go well in a kiln. It needs to just be the clay body. So don't think you can be clever. It's not like hydrostone. It's very different. And then what you do is, you know, you can put like a tea towel, and that's really good to get it off the surface. But I just want to show you how to do this, which is really, really easy. So what I did is, we've got a little bit of clay. Just got a rolling pin, nothing exciting, my friends. And I'm just going to show you what I did. So literally I just, you know, rolled it. We'll roll it again. And this is not big enough for what I want to do, but I just want to show you so that you kind of can see. I'm just going to turn it around. So now we've got it, it's about this thick. And let's pretend we are going to use this foam leaf that I showed earlier. I'm just going to put it on the top, and hopefully you can see there. I'll move it away a bit so you can see. Roll it over the top. You want to keep it like 1/2 centimetre thick at least. And then we're going to just peel it off. And can you see underneath it's got like that leaf pattern? And then what I did is just got a little knife and cut around the edges, you know, here. But I mean, this clay is not big enough. I need to add a bit more clay so that I can do another one of these leaves. And then that leaf, once it's fired, this can literally be, you know, like I said, it can be a soap holder. It could be a little tray. And the glazes that I will be using, they're actually American glazes, the ones that I really like, which is, I think it's called Spectra is the company. Don't quote me. And you can get them from places like Walker. So Walker Ceramics mainly do their own glazes, but there's also another place in Australia, I think it's in South Australia, called Pug Mill. That's where I'll be getting mine from. You know, the glazes that I want. So, you know, you don't have to do heaps of glazes. Just choose a few you really like to keep the price down a little bit. And then you can make something cool. So, like I said, I just hope that, you know, talking about these things gets your mind wondering. And it doesn't mean it's pottery. Like, maybe there's something else, like I said, that you can bring in to your business. So whether it was making flower bouquets or I don't know, I'm just trying to think of ideas, you know, whether it was like a diffuser. So I'm actually going to be making some diffuser bottles. You know, once I get going, and I'll be putting these on the wheel, and then that will be definitely something that I'm going to be doing a lot more. So this is what I mean. You just have to come up with ideas. And now I'm going to just take this away so you can see. So we've got our leaf here. I am going to put it that way, and I just want to do a little quick that way. We just want to make it stick, and then we're just going to give it a roll, and it will put the pattern into it. Just gently, don't be rough, and make sure you've got it sitting here, because that way you've got the imprint of the leaf. And then once I pull the leaf off, it's got this beautiful pattern here. I can't lift it up, otherwise it will be a bit disastrous. But this will take a few days to do its little thing. And then, of course, like I did say, I do have this, which is my beautiful, it's kind of like, it says Nelson pottery. So anyway, that's what it says on that. So anyway, like I said, this is what we're doing today. I'm going to be cutting this up. I'll make this all beautiful. And I hope I've given you a few ideas, my loves. And I'm going to see you on the next one, because the storm is about to come in Melbourne, Australia. Bye, friends.